DIY pregnancy tests. Fun or fiction? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we have something super interesting lined up for you. We're going to explore the world of DIY pregnancy tests. Yes, you heard that right. Those quirky, sometimes bizarre methods people use at home to find out if they're expecting. Today, we're diving into a topic that's like weirdly fascinating and kinda gross all at the same time. DIY pregnancy tests. You might have seen these tests floating around on the internet or heard about them from a friend. They often involve everyday household items like bleach, toothpaste, baking soda, and even sugar. You know, those things people swear by that involve like bleach and toothpaste and stuff. We're gonna try them. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's talk about why people even consider these tests. Is it curiosity, convenience, or maybe just for fun? Whatever the reason, we're here to see if there's any truth to these methods. Disclaimer though, these tests are purely for entertainment purposes. Seriously folks, don't take these results to heart. They're not scientifically proven and should not replace professional medical advice. If you think you might be pregnant, the best course of action is to consult a healthcare provider or use a store-bought pregnancy test. Like seriously, don't base any life-changing decisions on whether your pee makes baking soda fizz. It's all in good fun, but let's keep it at that. These tests are more about the experience and the curiosity rather than getting accurate results. For real accurate results, go to a doctor or grab a test from the store. Medical professionals and FDA-approved tests are the way to go if you need reliable information. These DIY tests are just a quirky way to pass the time and maybe have a laugh or two. Okay, are we ready to potentially ruin some perfectly good cleaning supplies in the name of science? Let's do it. We're going to test out a few of these methods and see what happens. Will they work? Will they fail spectacularly? There's only one way to find out. So grab your bleach, your toothpaste, and your baking soda, and let's get started on this wild DIY pregnancy test adventure. The bleach test, hold your nose. Okay, so first up, we've got the infamous bleach test. This test has been around for ages and is one of those old wives' tales that just won't go away. It's like the urban legend of pregnancy tests. This one's a classic, right? You might have heard about it from a friend, or maybe even seen it on some random internet forum. It's the kind of thing that makes you go, really? People actually do this? Like, who hasn't heard some crazy story about their grandma using bleach to like predict the future of their uterus or whatever? It's almost like a rite of passage in some families. Oh honey, when I was your age, we didn't have fancy pregnancy tests. We had bleach. So the theory here is that if you mix bleach with your pee and it foams up like a rabid raccoon, congratulations, you might be pregnant. The idea is that the HCG hormone in your urine reacts with the bleach, causing it to foam and fizz, but like, also maybe not. The thing is, bleach can react with a lot of different substances, not just HCG. So if you had a big glass of orange juice or a spicy meal, who knows what kind of reaction you'll get. Apparently, bleach can react with all sorts of things in your pee, not just the stuff that screams baby on board. Your diet, hydration levels, and even medications can all affect the outcome. So it's not exactly the most reliable method. So, yeah, take this one with a grain of salt, or maybe like a whole salt lick. If you're really wondering whether you're pregnant, it's probably best to stick with a test that's been scientifically proven to work. But hey, if you're feeling adventurous and have some bleach lying around, why not give it a try? Just don't take the results too seriously. The vinegar test. A study in subtlety. Next up, we're getting all fancy with the vinegar test. This method has been passed down through whispers and old wives' tales, promising a simple yet effective way to determine pregnancy. This one's supposed to be a little more, shall we say, refined than the bleach explosion. Unlike the dramatic fizz and foam of the bleach test, the vinegar test is all about subtlety and patience. Basically, you're looking for a subtle color change when you mix your pee with vinegar. The idea is that the acidity in the vinegar will react with the hormones in the urine, causing a slight shift in color. If it changes, you guessed it, pregnancy might be on the horizon. But don't expect a dramatic transformation. It's more like watching paint dry, but with a lot more at stake. And this is a big but, The color change can be so freaking subtle that you might need like a microscope and a PhD in pea color analysis to actually notice it. The change is often so faint that it can easily be missed if you're not paying close attention. Seriously, this test is basically a recipe for squinting at a cup of pea for an hour and still not knowing what the heck you're looking at. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, except the needle is a barely perceptible color change and the haystack is a cup of urine. So while the vinegar test might sound like a fun and easy DIY project, it often leaves people more confused than when they started. If you're looking for a definitive answer, you might want to stick with more reliable methods. In the end, while the vinegar test is an interesting experiment, it's not the most reliable way to confirm a pregnancy. Modern pregnancy tests are designed to give you clear and accurate results, without the guesswork and frustration. So, if you find yourself squinting at a cup of vinegar and urine, remember, there's a better way. Save yourself the trouble and go for a test that's designed to give you the answers you need. The sugar test. Sweet or not so sweet? All right, let's talk sugar, baby. No, not the kind that goes in your coffee, the kind that might or might not tell you if you're gonna be a parent. The sugar test is pretty straightforward. You mix your pea with sugar and see if it clumps up. If it does, boom, pregnancy. Or, maybe you just didn't stir it enough. Look, I'm not a scientist, but I'm pretty sure sugar is more likely to attract ants than predict pregnancies. But hey, it's all in good fun, right? Chapter 4. The toothpaste test, minty fresh results. Okay, this next one is just weird, even for me. Apparently, some people believe that toothpaste can detect pregnancy. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Toothpaste babies both involve drool? No? Okay, moving on. So for this test, you mix your pee with toothpaste and look for, get this, a blue color change or foaming. Because, what screams I'm pregnant more than minty fresh blue foam? Chapter 5. The soap test. Sudsy surprises? All right, folks. Time for the soap opera, literally. The soap test involves, you guessed it, soap and pee. You basically just pee on a bar of soap and see if it bubbles up. If it does, congratulations, you might be having a baby. Or, you might just have a really bubbly pee stream. Look, I'm not here to judge. Chapter 6. The baking soda test. A volcano of possibilities. Baking soda, the MVP of the kitchen, can apparently also predict pregnancies. Who knew, right? For this test, you mix your pee with baking soda and watch for, you guessed it, fizzing and bubbling. Because apparently pregnancy is just like a science fair volcano, except instead of vinegar and baking soda, it's your pee and, well, baking soda. Okay, this next one is a little, potent. We're talking about the pine sol test. Yes, that pine sol. The stuff that cleans your floors and apparently can also tell you if you're gonna be a parent. For this test, you mix your pee with pine sol and look for a color change. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not sure I want to be anywhere near that concoction, pregnant or not. Chapter 8. The dandelion test. Gardening with a twist. All right, let's get our green thumbs on with the dandelion test. This one's for all you nature lovers out there. Basically, you pee on some dandelion leaves and wait for red blisters to appear. Yes, you read that right, red blisters. Because nothing says new life like some angry, blistery leaves, right? Chapter 9. The Tylenol and peroxide test, a chemical concoction. Okay, this next one requires a little more effort, but hey, maybe it's worth it. The Tylenol and peroxide test involves crushing up some Tylenol, mixing it with peroxide, adding your pee, and then looking for a blue color change. Now, I'm not a chemist, but that sounds like a recipe for something that might explode, or at least smell really, really bad. Chapter 10. The tuna and vinegar test. A recipe for disaster. And finally, we have the tuna and vinegar test. This one's not for the faint of heart, or the faint of stomach for that matter. You basically mix tuna juice, vinegar, and your pee together and look for a color change. If it turns green, congratulations, you might be pregnant. If it turns yellow, well, you're probably just grossed out. Honestly, I'm not sure what's more disturbing, the ingredients or the potential outcomes. DIY pregnancy tests. Don't try this at home. So there you have it, folks. 10 DIY pregnancy tests that are probably more likely to give you a headache than an accurate result. But hey, it was fun to try, right? In all seriousness though, if you think you might be pregnant, please, please, please don't rely on bleach, toothpaste, or any of these other crazy concoctions to give you an answer. Go to a doctor, get a real pregnancy test, and leave the DIY experiments to like making slime or something.